Hello, let's get started. We are going to be going over dating boundaries, and we're going to go through the first through second date. And here we go. This is a quote from the therapist's aide. Let's get started. Sorry, guys. We are going to be, let's restart and present. Well, welcome to my classroom. This is Kenice, Coach Kenice speaking to you today. And here we go. So, personal boundaries are the limits and rules we set for ourselves within relationships. A person with no boundaries can no to others when they want to, but they are also comfortable opening themselves up to intimacy and close relationships. First date. So, in your first date, he should not be picking you up from home, especially if you two have met on an online dating app. He should not be picking you up. You should be meeting him. So, number 2 is meet in a public place, downtown areas, places where maybe there are multiple people. You know, if you are meeting somewhere where it's just a singular restaurant somewhere, I would advise you to meet in a downtown area where there are people, there are more places to walk. This also will create a whirlwind date because after eating, you can walk somewhere, you can see different places. So I definitely recommend meeting in a downtown area. Even if this is someone that you did meet in a public place, you do want to show him how you like to be dated, how you like to be courted. And number 3, on a first date, he doesn't need to see your car. So maybe if you beat him to the restaurant, you can go ahead and sit there. You can say, I'll meet you inside the restaurant. You can park a little bit further, but you want to keep your life still a little private because you still don't know him yet. And we as humans, we judge each other. We judge each other on a car or other things. And I'm not saying that, it's not okay to be judged. What I am saying is I do want you to be aware, and I do want you to be aware of your own safety. And if he wants to walk you to your car, you can say, no, it's okay. I had a really good time, but I'll walk myself to my car. But on another date, I do want you to walk me to my car. So you don't have to be rude about it, but you can create a boundary and you can create some distance. Let's go to the next slide. Second date. There is no need for him to pick you up. So we are still sticking to that. We still don't need him to pick you up. You guys can still meet at restaurants. You are still screening him. You are still vetting him. And so you still want to make sure this is a safe person and not someone that is unsafe. So just be very aware of, on a second date, even though you're comfortable with him, unless he has already seen your house and you guys are maybe close family friends, this could be different. But in dating someone, you still want to create that space. And maybe you live in a beautiful apartment and you want to show it off, but it's not for you to show off to him. It's for him to impress you. It's for you to make sure that this is someone that you want to spend time with. So let's say that you are dating him, you are meeting him out, and you are sort of comfortable with him. There's still no need for you to lift up these barriers. You still need to date safely. You still need to create lots of things that are similar to mystery, that may be similar to seduction. but you still need to sort of create that distance. And I'm not saying that he doesn't need to know where you live at all. You could let him know, like if you live in a city, you could say, "Oh, I live in Midtown." So he knows the radius of where you live, the radius of where he lives, but you still don't need to have him pick you up. When I was dating, I didn't have people pick me up until maybe the third. No, I don't even think it was the third date. Even on the fourth date, I had people, I lived in a downtown area. So even if they wanted to drop me off lunch, I would just meet at the restaurant that was 2 minutes away or one apartment building. And if they wanted to drop me off food, I would accept it and they would meet me there. They wouldn't meet me at my house because you still want to create that space. You're still getting to know him. And yes, meeting in an area. So you still want to keep that distance. Dating safety is your priority. It creates desire and mystery in your new man. There's a typo on my screen, but typos happen, and I was rushing to create this because I want to be consistent and I want to show up for you guys. So yes, there is a typo. I didn't want to show my face, but I also didn't want to bail on showing up in my classroom. So this is how you guys are getting me today. And this will be enough for today. So let's go to the next slide. Third date. So, number one, vet him, listen to his words, know that some things he says are the truth, and know that some things are lies. And maybe we're all leaving stuff out when we date people. So, I'm not saying it's okay for him to lie, but sometimes when you're first dating someone, you do omit things. You don't tell the full story because you want people to like you. And that's understandable. Strangers do the same thing. And as long as these lies aren't detrimental to your health or detrimental to maybe him, really, really huge things, whatever is huge to you, whatever is a deal breaker to you, as long as it's not any of those things, it's quite understandable. We are humans. We are always not as comfortable as we should be when we're getting to know people. And I think it's just a thing that happens in the USA. It's just a thing where we aren't always super comfortable telling people everything when we first meet them. And this is the same reason why you need to be creating that distance of him not knowing where you live yet. Like I said, he can know the city that you live in, but also not knowing your vehicle just yet, still screening him. And I said, let's see, number one, I said, this is okay because as you date more, the truth will be revealed. So it's not as if you won't ever know the truth, but maybe the truth will take a little bit of time. And that's okay because you're not, being 100% either. So you're not telling everything that you've ever been through. So this is just something to know and to take with a grain of salt. And like I said, know what your deal breakers are. So when you do find things out, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm not, not really interested anymore. And however you go about that is how you go about that. Number two, you should still be screening him in rotational dating. So screening just means vetting. So this means that you're still finding out things about him. You're still finding out if you like him, if he's even someone you enjoy. I know most of us get worried about, does he like me? But you need to know if you like him. Are you even, attracted to him? And also, when I say rotational dating, this means that you guys aren't in a relationship yet. You guys aren't in a marriage yet. So it's okay for you to keep on dating other people and to keep on getting to know other people and until something else is discussed. So just making sure that you are not getting so sold on someone, not getting so you'll know when you meet the one. And sometimes you won't know by the third date. Sometimes you will know by the third date. But this is still someone that you are screening. Just like in a job interview, some jobs give like 5 interviews. I hear that Facebook has an interview process of about 8 or 9 interview process. So they're screening you. They're looking at your character, they're looking at who you show up as. And like I said, they're screening you. So you need to be doing the same when you're dating. I'm not saying that your first date needs to be like a LinkedIn interview or your third date or your second date where you're asking all these serious questions. Things will be revealed. You'll know the right questions to ask at the right time. And it doesn't really need to be a strict interview process. And let's go to number 3. He still doesn't need to see your home because you still don't know him. Number 4, your childhood trauma should not be discussed. I know a lot of us get really, really comfortable discussing childhood trauma with friends, to be discussed with family. As you get deep into your relationship, if there's something that you really need to reveal, you can reveal that. But this person is not your therapist. This is a stranger that you're getting to know. So these are most of the boundaries. I didn't want to overload this lesson. So we have the first date, the second date, and the third date. I don't know why I put third like that. It does not look right, but hey, I made this video for us to learn the boundaries, and that's what we're learning. And lastly, thanks for coming to my classroom where we discuss today the boundaries that you need to have on your first, second, and third date. Please leave me comments, leave me a like, let me know what things you are going to implement. And again, thanks for coming. And let's stop the share and